How's it going? You want the finishing touches on what to do last, how you know your mix is done? This is what I do. I automate the parts, especially on vocals or a guitar, let's say, like a group of guitars. When I want the chorus to get bigger, I'm going to make them a little bit louder at the end. After everything's great, I love the way it sounds, the balance is there, then I go in and think, how's the architecture of this mix? All right, this is an Andy Wallace thing, and it's the way to think about it. How is this song built? Does it should it get a little bigger here? Should it get a little smaller here? And because of that, am I making all the guitars a little bit louder in this part? I'm automating things. The end of vocal phrases, give it a little bit of love when the phrase is tailing off and the guy's running out of breath or the girl's running out of breath, whatever it is. Give her a little more love at the end of the phrase. Bring up that nuance at the end of her vocal, where she may have a little less power or whatever. Look at the end of the phrases. It works on guitar, it works on lead instruments, violins, it'll work on vocals. Look to automate the ends of phrases. Look to automate parts as a whole, bridge, chorus, to make things get bigger or smaller. And I'm talking about a little bit, a few dB. You could go up to 4 or 5 dB, but don't go beyond like 5 dB, all right? Keep it you could go 1 dB too. You keep it light, but the point is you're doing this to bass, acoustic guitar. You're doing this to different instruments at points that make sense. Figure that out, then do that. One other tip. Mix bus processing, once that's done, I want you to automate the fader after the mix bus processing. Take that fader after the mix bus processing is done. So in other words, you're now no longer automating the guitar, which goes into the mix bus processing, and it gets eaten up by the mix bus processing. So some of what you're doing doesn't actually translate to making that thing a little bit louder in the same amount that you made it louder when you raised the volume of it. It's not the same. Whereas in the after the fact, now deal with smaller amounts, increments of 0 to 1 dB, maybe 0 to 1.5 dB. But on the mix bus itself, after the processing, automate the fader to make it where it's going to be giving you a little more push in the chorus. Take the whole track down 1 dB if you have to, then automate up the choruses by 1 dB or the bridge or whatever. Make it make sense, all right? Make the architecture of this track make sense, and then you'll have a way better product. The life that you can add to the track in automation is huge. This is a huge factor. You got to start doing this at the end. Go through each instrument, automate the passes or automate the groups of instruments, and then after the mix bus, deal with that. All right, deal with automating the mix bus fader after the processing has happened. Because at that point, the mix bus has already done its job. Then you will be literally playing with just volume. You'll be playing with, the whole thing will get 1 dB louder, and it'll feel so much louder when the chorus kicks in. All right, plan those moments. You got this. I'll see you soon. This is Custom Cut Studios. Evan Jaffe. Take it easy.